Man, it took me a while to get on here. We're going to talk a little history tonight or this morning. 2 o'clock. Oh, I like these exact time zones. It's like when I'm zoned in, everything happens on the hour, at the exact time of the hour. We're going to talk about history today. Some of y'all asking questions, let me know you don't know what the heck's going on. This is Staying in the Light Radio by popular demand. We're going to talk about some history. I don't talk much about what's going on in Africa. Why not? Because everything started right here. Now, I'm going to talk to some living history, history that I have lived. You can call me grandpa for this, because this is what the grandparents maybe didn't pass on to your parents, so you don't know what the heck's going on. When you talk about nationalism, if you do not know what nationalism means, you need to look it up. We're the beginners of nationalism began right here in America. The most recent was Noble Marcus Garvey, then Noble Drew Ali, then the Nation of Islam. And from the Nation of Islam, we got a lot of different leaders. The one most notable was Malcolm X. Now, he's the first one in modern time to spread nationalism abroad. He actually went to Africa. You know, Africa, man, let me tell you, if it hadn't been for what we was doing over here, Africa would still be in colonial times. They was inspired by what we was doing. Here we is, sharecroppers on our own land, talking about nationalism. And they have their own land taken from them. And they didn't know what to do. They had no direction and guidance until they started listening to people like Marcus Garvey and more recently Malcolm X. Malcolm X went into the uh, the unity of Africa. Matter of fact, he's the inspiration for the African unity. Say that again. Some of y'all missed it. Malcolm X is the reason for Africa unity. His philosophy is what inspired a lot of these leaders because a lot of them came here to study, and that revolutionary nationalist fervor rubbed off on them. So you got this Ibrahim Torre, beginning Faso, which means the name means upright human being. We ain't bending, we ain't scraping for nobody. Everybody looking at what he's doing. He's a nationalist. He wants his nation to be free. It didn't start with him. He got it from a couple of decades ago. Matter of fact, 40 years ago, a man named Sagori. Sagori preached the same thing. He was killed by his own people, as most of our revolutionaries are killed by their own people. The puppets. Look what happened to Gaddafi, he was going to have swift reforms, bring Africa out of the dark ages with their own gold-backed currency. Them African Negroes didn't want that because they would lose their power, their status of deceiving the people, living off their people, off of foreign aid. So they made the situation possible where he got killed in his own country, on the streets. So let's talk about Burkina Faso for a minute. As I said, back in '84, you had this leader, Sagari, Burkina Faso. He was talking the same thing: nationalism, self-reliance, things they got from Malcolm X. You know, Malcolm X's legacy lives strong in Africa than it does here in America. That man was a revolutionary. So even though he was there in the 65 before he was shot and murdered, they taught about him in the schools, about what he did, what his dreams and goals was, what about being free, what freedom actually is and independence. So that's where these leaders get that from. They don't have any leader in Africa that they can point to as spearheading their movements. Everything come from here. More recently, the teaching of Malcolm X 60 years ago is still bearing fruit. Any leader who's worth his salt, who's doing anything in Africa, and I would venture to say the world, is working on the inspiration of Malcolm X. So he's not doing anything new. But what Torari is recognizing is that his own people are sellouts. Did you see that place when he went to this conference surrounded by African leaders? They just ignored him. All he's doing for them as a continent, they was ignoring him. And his Putin came up and shook his hand. You see that? Did y'all see that? I'm telling you, man, these Uncle Toms, I don't know if to call them Uncle Toms or not, because I don't know the real story behind him. But you got a lot of people who look like us, they ain't us. They ain't us. Kim, Lamar Kendrick's got that right. Skin folks don't mean kin folks. So Terori said, well, heck, if y'all not gonna support it, hell, I just become a civilian. Now the people trying to get support. Now the people saying, no, 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 we need you. Not only Burkina Faso, but all over Africa. The revolutionary people are saying, we need you to lead Africa. Because these, we call them titular heads, because they got white tissue over their head. They're being supported by foreign money. Same thing happened here in America. These people don't have no revolutionary spirit in them. They don't have any guts to speak the truth because that's going to take away their money. They're still depending on their colonial masters. So that's why I sound so outrageous, because I speak as a free man, because I am free. Yeah, I'm working to get off of any assistance. I'm not taking on any new debt, and I'm getting rid of the debt that I have, so I don't owe anybody anything. So you can't take anything from me because I don't have nothing that belongs to you. That's what means being free. And all this energy has got to be coming from these planetary alignments that's been lining up. They didn't just get lined up; they've been lining up for the last few weeks. And if you notice, a lot of these bombshells, a lot of this energy surges I be bringing you is after midnight when most people sleeping. How can you sleep with all this energy around you? Man, 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 man. So I just want to remind you that everything came from here. The leadership here is in America. Africa's got the baton right now because they're the only one who's doing anything with the knowledge. The few people here, man, we don't have any unifying voice. We don't have no Malcolm. We don't have no MLK. We don't have anybody speaking for us. So the prophecy said that our brothers across the water is going to come and help us. So maybe people like Torah is going to be our salvation. Who knows? Okay, anybody in the chat? I guess everybody's going to sleep. I don't see nobody. So this is for the Moorish community. This is for the people who want to live for the principles of love. Love is the first one. And I always say love because you got to love truth. You got to love freedom. You got to love peace. You got to love justice. It's not about a person. People talking about they love you. What love? What? 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 Man, that's some gay shit. Loving a person. You got to love ideas, man. You got to love people who love these ideas. And women, man, I don't know what to say about y'all. We ain't waiting on y'all. When y'all catch up, we going to be long gone. And we don't want to leave you behind. But this unmelanated woman, she's ready to go with us. Yeah. Some of them saying, well, look, I know I'm not your kind, but can I come with the revolution? They've told me that in so many words. Yes. And I haven't taken any of them on yet. But man, I'm telling you, if y'all sisters ain't coming, we got to have some type of feminine energy. If y'all want to drag y'all feet, and when you do come, you find yourself looking at the backs of unmelanated women. I said it. If you drag your feet, sisters, you're going to find yourself looking at the backs of unmelanated women who's got positions ahead of you because they came they came before you. You still tied to this slave master, his jobs. That's why I don't have any connection with y'all women. Man, y'all tied to y'all jobs. Y'all in love with this man. Y'all just love this man. And y'all are the beast that's keeping him alive. Do you know that? Yeah, the Bible speaks about this beast, they gave power to the beast. And all y'all women working on these government jobs, now he didn't gave you your walking papers. What you gonna do? You still gonna put your nose up in the air at the man who might not even have a job, but he got ideas, and he can free you from that Stockholm syndrome. You loving your oppressor. That's what y'all women suffering from. And because you don't see, this is the thing. You say, okay, y'all ain't doing nothing. Well, you trying to help us. Are you? If you're not helping us in any way, you can't judge us, sisters. You cannot judge what we're not doing if you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be our helpmate. You think we're going to automatically do things by ourselves without you? You don't want to be in position as God told you to do. You don't want to do that. And then you're going to look at us and say, well, we ain't doing. We got to do this together. We got to do this together. Now think on that. Go back and listen to this 9 times and see if it make any changes in your mind. And then contact me. I got a place for you where you can work to free our people. Because it ain't just about you. We got a whole people are enslaved. And Africa is leading right now. With our ideologies, they're leading. We need you, sisters.